Giselle is back in the all-new Disney Plus film Disenchanted. Let's see if it's worth your time. Hey everybody, my name's Justin here. I try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services like Disney Plus. If you guys are like me, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below for more up and coming content. Years after her happily ever after, Giselle, Robert, and Morgan moved to a new community, and Andalasia, the real world, are thrown off balance. I enjoyed the first Enchanted film. I thought it was fun for what it was. I like that blend of fairy tale world with the real world, and watching Giselle, played by Amy Adams, react to everything and adapt in the new world. It had some fun moments. Patrick Dempsey and James Marsden and Idina Menzel were good in their roles. I think they're pretty good in Disenchanted as well. Especially James Marsden and Amy Adams, they jump back into the role with ease. Especially James Marsden, he's still charismatic, he's still fun as this prince. And Amy Adams has adapted as Giselle. She is a little more in the real world rather than the fairy tale world, but she quickly learns that she is a stepmother, and her teenage stepdaughter Morgan calls her a stepmother, and she realizes that she may be part of a story where she could be like an evil stepmother. So she wishes to be part of a fairy tale in the real world, which leads to her becoming an evil stepmother, and she has to stop that from happening. I like that this film implemented a lot of the classic fairy tale tropes in here, from being an evil stepmother to slaying dragons to doing your chores and singing the songs and locking your stepdaughter up in a room. I think it blended the real world with those fairy tale elements very nicely, and bringing that fairy tale story to that real world and having all of the characters within the film act like they're in a fairy tale. So I like that aspect of it. But this film's too long. It's almost 2 hours long. And I know that's not a super long film, but for a film like this, there is a lot of storylines in here that feel like they just take up a little too much. Especially when it comes to Robert, who's played by Patrick Dempsey. He is trying to act like a knight. He's trying to slay this dragon. He's trying to stop things from happening, but it's all for fun rather than having some importance to the story. And that's how I feel about a lot of characters, that they are doing things for fun in part of a fairy tale world rather than adding some importance to the story. If it's not important to the story, why have it in here? There's some scenes I want them to just move on and get back to their main story with Giselle. We also have Rudolph in here, kind of like the villain. She's the queen of this new town in this fairy tale world, and there's some conflict between her and Giselle, which is nice to see. I like Rudolph in here. She's pretty fun, but the story just drags, and it is very slow. It takes a long time to get into that fairy tale story and having the characters live in this fairy tale world. It's so much it's so focused on Morgan and the stepmother aspect of it, and how they're not enjoying their new life in this small town. It is what they wanted in the first place, but the filmmakers want us to understand so much that they dislike what is going on, and that leads into this fairy tale world being brought into the film, and Giselle being like this evil stepmother and being under control and being evil. So the beginning of the film really takes its time, very, very slow, like 35 minutes into the film. They haven't even introduced this fairy tale world within it. It's just so focused on the dramatic scenes and where all the characters now, having Idina Menzel and James Marsden being introduced and them acknowledging them and what are they up to and everything. It just moves at such a slow pace. And the songs in here, the choreographed scenes are fine. The songs are not catchy. I watched it last night and I cannot remember one song in here. Remember after watching the Enchanted film and humming some of the songs within it, and even listening to the Amazon Music app on my phone and playing some princess songs for my daughter, that song has come up a couple times, and her and I like to sing those songs. But the songs in here, I could not remember any of them, and they are not catchy, and songs I probably wouldn't want to listen to again. The visuals are good once again, having the cartoon aspect to it's a lot of fun. The costume designs look great. There's so much for a fairy tale world in here, and I think they brought the costumes and the set designs nicely into the film to give it that feeling of a fairy tale world, and I really like that. But overall, Disenchanted was boring for most of the film and just not as charming or as exciting as that first film. So this is the film that I found to be disappointing. I was looking forward to it. I like Amy Adams in here. James Marsden is charismatic, and I like Maya Rudolph in here, but that's mostly about it when it comes to Disenchanted. So before I give you my score for Disenchanted on Disney Plus, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer actions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button and get it all in one spot. And if you'd like to see where Disenchanted ranks amongst all of the other 2022 releases I've seen this year, follow me on Letterboxd and there you can find my ranking. I'm gonna go ahead and give Disenchanted a C. Thank you guys for checking my review for Disenchanted on Disney Plus. Have you guys seen it by chance? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.